Well, happy Tuesday to you. Welcome to the Jim of All Trades channel. Glad you stopped by. We're going to be looking at the charts today, and uh, if you've just found me for the first time, welcome. Glad you are here. This is a channel where we look at TA every day, but I do it from an Elliott wave perspective, and I give you a daily reading on what the waves are potentially going to do. We give you um, um, targets for prices and trade entries as well. Just there's all kinds of stuff that you won't get anywhere else right here. We get psychology lessons. Yesterday was a really important video, guys. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, you really need to, about entries, and the psychology of entries and what the market does and how they take your money. Well, with that being said, the market is really in a balance right now, and what's going on is hard to read, and it's designed to be. It's designed that way. But let's take a peek at what Bitcoin is doing, and we can ask the question: are we going to have any more downside or upside? What's Bitcoin doing? And when that's the case, what's Litecoin and Ethereum doing as well as the rest of the alts, which tend to follow suit. So let's take a look. Glad you stopped by. Just a quick disclaimer: I'm not a financial advisor. This is not intended to be financial advice. I'm disclosing how I trade and how I spend my money, but I'm not telling you how to spend yours. All right. With that being said, let's jump into the charts. We're going to start today with Bitcoin. That's the important one. We're going to shoot over to Ethereum, and we'll hit Litecoin last. All right. What we're looking at right now on the 4-hour chart is well. Let's go back out to the daily and tell you what I see here. Okay, we have two possibilities. Okay, and I want you to understand this. I have two counts that I'm working into right now. There might be other counts, but I've got a couple of them. Number one, let's just get rid of some of this right here for now. All right. So the question is, how do we interpret all this right here? Okay, an Elliott waves, they move in threes, right? I mean, excuse me, they move in fives and threes, right? So we're looking for 5 waves, and then 3 wave correction, 5 waves and 3 waves. Okay, so um, put that in a place where there we go. Just kind of get this stuff out of my way there. So one particular way to interpret it that I have been up to this point is that this is one. That's 2, this is 3, that's 4, and that's 5, and we're done with 5 waves. That means we have a 3 wave correction coming. Now, looking at this, this is 3 waves, okay? And it measures correctively. It measures like a 3 wave. So we could be finished with an Elliott wave sequence right now. It's a possibility. So if that's the case, then uh, what we have then is a 1-2 of the next wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, that's a potential, and that might be the giant one wave of the third wave. What do you mean, Jim? What I mean is this whole 5 wave sequence would be the first wave. Okay, so we got a big giant 1, and then this would be 2. We'd be looking for 3, 4, and 5, like that. Okay, now if that's the case, then this wave that we're making is just the third wave of the first wave to the upside of this big third wave. That's a potential count. Okay, I want you to know that. Let me show you another potential count, another way to interpret this market, and and time will have to tell, unfortunately. But let's look at another count now. Instead of this, let's dig into this still being 5 waves. So this would be the first wave, and we're still looking for that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go to the 3-day, see if I can zoom out a little bit more. So this is still wave 1, but we have more downside for the 2. This is another potential before we get the 3, 4, 5. So that's another potential that what we have is this is basically a W wave. See if I can get it here. A W wave. And what's just being made right now is an X wave followed by a Y wave, which is another ABC to the downside. So that's another potential count that has not been invalidated up to this point yet. So yeah, so we've got basically an ABC, that's a W, and then we got an ABC, that's an X, and a Y. Okay, so that's another potential count. So the two counts that I've given you up to this point assume that Bitcoin has finished a five wave sequence, and we are coming down for a correction. So this count puts us, I have it just drawn here. It puts us probably somewhere around the $7,000 to $8,000 range on the correction. Okay, the previous count has us going up from here, and we say goodbye to these levels for a very long time. What else could this possibly be? Now, up to this point, the count that I just gave you has been my count, the WXY, and I'm expecting another push down to the downside. Still could happen, but let me entertain just a third option that I might have mentioned yesterday, but I can't remember if I did or not. But let me just entertain it. And that is that what we could be seeing is this is a 1, 2, and all of this is the third wave. And then this is the fourth wave. And then we're still coming up for 5. And that might be the finish of our 5 waves of the first wave. That's still a bullish count, okay? So it just puts us having a larger correction later. Okay, we'd still possibly come down to this region, this $7,000 region, but we go up first to close to maybe 17,000 or something like that. So that's another possibility as well. So everything's in limbo right now, and the market makers know it, and we need to be careful around this area. Doesn't mean we can't trade this market. We can totally trade it. And the large count doesn't matter to me right now because we can trade these smaller waves, no problem. We just trade, we trade what the market gives us, okay? So those are the potential macro counts. So the question now we have to ask is there any evidence in the chart that would lead us to think one thing over the other thing? Or are there any points where if Bitcoin goes to a particular point, will it invalidate any particular count over another count? And the answer to those questions are yes. And so let's now dive into the smaller time frames. Now that you kind of know what I'm thinking. And let's look in and see what we have, okay? So again, just a quick review. This could be 1, 2, 3 up here, 4, and we're going up for 5, or 3 is done. This was 4 down here, and 5 is done. So this is either 3 or 5, and we have to wait to see. We're going to know soon, but we have to wait and see. Then we have to ask ourselves, just reviewing the questions, what we can do. Are we doing an A, B, C like that, or WXY like that, or is this ABC complete and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going up like that? So that's the big question. That's what we're gonna look into, and so we want to dig into that. Okay, all right, let's do that. So let's go now down to the 2 hour, and let's just look only at what we've been doing, this latest move. There is no doubt that this is 3 wave-ish. Whether it's a WXY or an ABC, I don't know that it matters that we label it, but it's 3 waves. It measures correctively. I've been calling it a WXY. I think it's a WXY. So that's what we're going to stay with for now. So now you can see it up to this point. I want you to notice that when I draw, let me just give you a quick Elliott wave lesson. When I do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, look at the shape of the 1, 2, 3. And I want you to see what an ABC looks like. What's the shape of an ABC as compared to a 1, 2, 3? They're the same. But what's the difference between an ABC and a 1, 2, 3? The main difference between an ABC and a 1, 2, 3 is the fib extension. How high that this third wave or C wave is compared to the 1 wave. So when we put the fib extensions on this guy, here's what we see. Right now we're in the middle of no man's land, okay? A C wave generally stops around the 1276. It can go up to the 1618, but most often it stays below the 1618 and continues to the downside. So we still have potential for this being an ABC X wave, basically. Okay, that's still in the cards. I want you to understand that. But if we have and we need a bit of a correction, now, there's no doubt about it. When we see these waves here, we've got basically. Sorry about that. Let's try this again. Let's measure this particular wave right here. Having a hard time picking my tools up here. When I measure this wave, this looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4. This is an extended fifth. It looks finished, guys. This looks like 5 completed waves. 1, 2, 3 here to the 2618. 4, even though it's a small 4, and a 5. And that fifth wave, if we dig into that, let's see if it's got 5 waves. I'm going to measure this first little one here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. That's such an extended wave. Not sure how to count this one, but it looks like we've got 5 waves there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is a really extended fifth. That's hard to count. That's a big ball of mess, is what that is right there. Such a small, dinky one. I don't know how to count that, guys. But here's the deal. It looks like it completed 5 waves. If it's not completed, if this isn't completed, then we're going to have another push to the upside up here to the 1618. We'll have to wait and see there. Regardless, we need a correction down to something like 30% at least for like a 4 wave or something like that. If this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to get a 5 up here, which is a possibility as well. That's another way to count that. We need kind of a correction here, something like 30%. So if we measure if this is all 3, we would be coming down here to $11,100 to $10,800 down to the structure line right here. It is a possibility we come down to here. And one potential count for this wave, which is a super hard wave to count, is 1, 2, all that is 3, coming down for 4, going up for 5. If that happens, this is a 3 wave. Okay, so if this happens right here, then what we're looking at is most likely 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Something like that. Most likely. Not guaranteed, but most likely. So we're really going to have to pay attention to what's going on. Okay. So sorry. It's just a bunch of I don't know right now, guys. And so sometimes when you're in that area, it's just a no trade zone. It's just we don't trade what we don't know. We wait. And what do we wait for? Well, we wait for it to come back because the market always comes back. Once it starts coming back, we can start projecting some potential downside. We did get this reversal. Now look where the reversal happened. We got this trend line here, right? I'm going to try to get it as perfect as possible. This wave right here came and tagged it, and it gave us a fake reversal. Then they went up, and they surpassed it, and then they shot it back down. And so what is that? Is that a market maker play? A fake out breakout, and now we're heading to the downside? Or is this a double fake out where they're fake to the upside, and now they're faking to the downside, and they're going to continue taking it higher? Man, the FOMO and the uncertainty is great right now. Whenever the market stalls and it's not moving, definitively everybody's open to speculation. It creates a lot of fear, creates a lot of anticipation, creates a lot of people buying, ready to buy and sell. It creates liquidity, and that's what the market needs to keep volatile and keep moving. So that's what we've got going on in Bitcoin. It's a big giant I don't know. So here's what we're going to do. Let's put the fibs on here, and we're going to be watching some levels. Okay, we need to watch these levels. If price continues going up, I want you to watch $12,549. Okay, 12,000 basically 550. 12,550. Let's put a line up here. If we come up and get past that, there's a high likelihood that this might be a three wave. Okay. Now, I want you to also watch the level of 10,800. 10,800. If Bitcoin comes down to 10.8, there's a high likelihood it bounces. It bounces there. But let's see how it comes down. Let's see how she comes down. Does she come down in three waves that measure correctively? Then we can anticipate and move to the upside, um, or does she come down in five waves that measure impulsively? Then we would expect this, and then like that. So um, let's see how this wave comes down, if it comes down. But to me, we need to come down. The correction is needed. We have divergence on. This is the 1 hour. Divergence in the 1 hour is okay. It tells you there's an imminent move. Um, we've got divergence here. Let's see what the 4 hour. See what 4 hour divergence. It says divergence in the 4 hour. There is divergence in the 4 hour. It's the same area. It's the same thing. Now we don't have widespread divergence, which is peak to peak, like this. This is actually not divergence at all. Okay, so I like to see widespread divergence. Widespread divergence is from what I call peak to peak, but right now we have local divergence, which means this wave is coming down here. But here's the deal: this may if the RSI comes down here, down this direction, but price stays about there, about the top of that peak, okay, that means we would have hidden bullish divergence, where price makes a higher high while RSI makes a lower low. That's called hidden bullish, and that means we would have a continuation. So let's watch that on the 4 hour and see what we get. That'll give us some clues maybe. You can look up on Google what hidden bullish divergence is, but that would be an example of hidden bullish divergence. When the RSI is going to the downside, but price is making higher lows. That's divergence, and it's hidden bullish divergence. It means the RSI is cooling off, but price is still going up. That's what it means. Okay. What else can we see? So we've broken this trend line. Let's watch this trend line. Let's see for a substantial move above that trend line. Watch 12,500. Watch 10,000, 10,850 in that ballpark. Until then, to me, this is just a big no man's land. We don't have any clarity of what's going on. Until price moves to this direction or that direction, really don't have any clarity, okay? So be watching out for that. If we break this 12,500, man, we're heading up. We're most likely heading up. We might have a pullback, but we're still most likely going to be heading up. That means we're going to be heading up for the alts. Now let's look at the Ethereum as well. Now, Ethereum, it's the same kind of count with Ethereum on the daily. I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going up for 5. That's a potential bull count. I readily admit that the same count could still be in play. So got to understand that same count. So this might be a completed 5 waves, and this is ABC, and we're done, or we're coming down for more correction. So the same kind of scenario that I presented for Bitcoin is at play for Litecoin. We could have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going up for 5, or this could be 3, and that's 4. 5 is done, and like that. So we got to understand that. But Ethereum looks better to me like this. Um, so targeting up here $465 potentially. This wave is just so slow to start. I'm ready. I'm ready for it to take off if she's going to do something. Now, uh, Ethereum did take off here, and you can just look in the past, how slow this wave was to start. Okay, we had a nice wave, and then we had a really slow, and then she took off. That is probably what's happening here. Uh, in fact, it seems like just looking at her pattern, Ethereum's pattern going back, that's what happens with Ethereum. Let me just show you. She's blue. I've been using. So you got a wave up, it comes down, and then it just kind of goes sideways until it just takes off. Comes down, goes sideways, and takes off. So it comes up, goes down, kind of goes sideways, expecting it to take off. That's the pattern. It's looking good for that. It's looking good to do that. That's what guys. I'm digging in. Again, I said it yesterday. I'm saying it in today. I'm digging into a bull count. Everything, to me, the alts are just looking. Everything looks like it needs to go up. This hasn't finished. Nothing is finished here. It's not going to do that. I just don't think it's going to do that. Nothing measures. It needs to go up, in my opinion. It's my opinion. That's not financial advice. I'm just here to share what I'm thinking, how I'm seeing the market. My gut, while we're in a big no man's land, my gut's saying we're going up. It's looking like a good trade to the upside. This just might be a shakeout and a consolidation, and buy on the alts, buying them up before they go. Let's look at the let's look at the 3-hour chart and this wave. This video is kind of going long, but this is technical analysis, man. We can't rush it. Yeah, this came up to the 1618. We're dancing all around it. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Might have some more downside for the 4 and then come up for 5. If we get more down, I mean, it looks like we need more downside, personally. So we might get some more. We might get some more downside in Bitcoin. That might push Ethereum down as well. So my target for the downside is going to be a structure zone, which is right here. Okay, that line and this line. Okay. Now we can also project the 4 wave if we're going to get a 4 wave here by measuring just the 3rd wave and then retracing it down to about 30 to 50%. You see my first line that I drew is right there at it. So that structure zone is right there at 30 to 50% right there. So this is a good landing point for price. If price comes down here to this zone right here, I'd be buying and expecting it to go up. That's a good buy zone. Okay, that would bring us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we'd have 3 waves to the downside, and then that's when we'd get our giant candle to the upside. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm digging into as a potential. Are there any other potentials? Not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. This measures to the 618. I guess the only other potential. I don't like it. No, I feel like it's got to come down to this line, guys. That's what I'm seeing. That's my call. I don't see much other potential. I see some down here. Might be some oscillation in here first. We might do this trick. We've already come down. We might do this. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. Except this wave right here is going to be huge. She's going to be giant. She's gonna go. You say how big? How big? Let me show you how big. Let me get out a little bit. Oh, you big boy. Right there. We'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that would be the one wave. That would be the one wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming up here, baby. That's a bull count right there. That's what you're looking at. It's potential. Look for a pullback. Look for a pullback. Jump in that trade. Can't guarantee you're going to get that pullback, but I think Bitcoin needs to come down some. I've said that in the past though, and she keeps going. So you can't always guarantee. You can't bank on it, but just But I don't get in on green candles, so I wait for pullbacks. Um, so yeah, I'm expecting price to come on down, maybe even to this trend, maybe even to this, probably down to this mark here. This uh, trend line here in this channel, and then we go up for the fifth wave, and that would finish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves of this first wave of the 3, and we'd be going up. So um, I didn't. I just realized I didn't give you any target numbers. Let me give you some target numbers. Um, watch 225 might be a good entry between 225 and 223. Good entry if it comes down there. Um, I mean, only $5 away from it, so it's not horrible entry now. But I'd rather see it come down first. That gives me peace of mind. It's going to bounce. Upside targets here, we're looking at 273 for the top of the third wave or higher. We could get an extended third wave, so keep that in mind. If we get an extended third wave, you're looking at 320 as a potential. So yeah, but highest targets there for this three wave would be looking 273. It's looking higher than that, in my opinion. Okay, we got to take a peek at Litecoin. This video is going outrageously long. Look at Litecoin here. Um, Same thing, guys. So everything I talked about Bitcoin and Ethereum is the same. The count possibilities are the same. So we could be in the four wave, and we could be in a final fifth wave, or we could be in the one wave of a big three. We'll know soon enough. Okay, we're gonna know soon enough. But to me, things are looking fairly bullish. But looks like this just needs to go up. It just needs to go up. Um, just look at these prior bullish structures. I mean, just look at that bullish structure, okay, and compare it to that. Compare that bullish structure. Compare that bullish structure to this, okay. We got a pretty deep pullback, but I think it's just a market maker shakeout. I'm expecting, guys. I'm expecting a move to the upside. I am. I'm waiting for it. I am waiting for it. You see the channel I've drawn here. We're bouncing off the midline here. Um, Guys, I mean, I'm expecting a move. We got to come up to 112 minimum, but I think we're coming up to 120, 132 based on the size of this wave. I said it yesterday. Now, I've been having a hard time counting this wave, but here's a possibility. This could be a leading diagonal where you got 1, 2, 3, 4 broke the plane of 5, and then we had a 5, and now what we have going on right now in Litecoin is a 3 wave 2. So this is a big 1 wave is all what that is. Sorry, having a hard time with my charts today. So that all those 5 waves right there would be a leading diagonal for a 1 wave. Now we're coming down for 2, and then we're going up for 3, 4, 5, like that. And that would give us our 5 waves of our 3rd wave up to the 2618. That would be an extended. Well, no, it wouldn't be extended. Well, yeah, it wouldn't be extended. A 3rd wave puts us, yeah, up here in this ballpark right here. 131, 132 in that ballpark. So that's a potential count here, guys. That what happened, over yesterday. That big push up was a 5th wave. Now we're coming down for 3, and we're coming in. Where's a good entry point? Your guess is as good as mine. Let's zoom in and see. No, my guess is probably going to be better than yours. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. Been having a hard time measuring this. But if I throw the fibs on this guy here, it's measured awful short. This wave did. I don't know how to measure that. But we broke the plane here of this low. We should be coming down. Where might we be coming down to? If this is A, B, C, 85, $86. Seems awful low. Is that possible? Yeah. Because 86 doesn't break the plane of this one. Doesn't go lower. That's potential, guys. And if that happens, you'd say with me, the market always comes back, doesn't it? It'd be a fantastic entry, wouldn't it? That would be fantastic. How else can we measure that wave? See, this wave is so hard to measure. Nothing's measuring right at all. Just nothing is measuring right at all. This could be 5 waves, but it doesn't measure like 5 waves, and that's my problem. I've had a really hard time trying to measure that. There's a little sneaky wave right here. 1, 2, right there. Can't see it, but it's there. This came to the 1276, that wave right there. So the wave delineation might be A, B. If that's the case, and we're getting a C wave, that's A, that's B. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're getting 5 waves to the downside. 91.26 is a good target to look for. So watch 91.26. Watch 88.53, and that's going to hit our trend line. 88. So 88 to 91 is would be my targets there. If we come down there, I'm going to go long, and I'll wait for. So yeah, we got some more downside in Bitcoin that might correlate with that. I don't like that 88, 85, or 86 call I made. I don't like the way that looks. So this might be the way we're going to measure it here. So let's look for 88 to $92 in that ballpark there. Draw this trend line and see if you come down and hit it. It's a nice juicy target there. Then we'd be looking for the upside. Now keep in mind, here's the deal. You know the deal. Couple ways to invalidate the upside counts. Okay, if we get a low, if we get a move that breaks this low, something's wrong. Okay, which that is at $82. If you get a move that breaks this low, something is definitely wrong. $77. So just saying, if we break this trend line, that's good indication we might be coming down lower. So be careful. Put those trend lines on your charts. Watch. We're in this big I don't know zone right now. Everything's measuring funky. I've given you the best targets I can give. So what we do in the meantime is we set targets and we watch the market and we wait. We don't be too eager to jump into a trade. All right, that's been a long video, but needed today because technical analysis is really important for our trading. So I hope that's helped you. Leave a like, subscribe, share the video, and Thanks for being around, and thanks for getting me up to 600 subscribers. Let's get up to 700 by next week or so. Share this video, share the content on Reddit. If you're on Reddit, put it in one of your places there. If you're on Twitter, tweet, and tell others how great this TA is if you like it. Throw it out on Facebook in your Facebook groups. That would really help me build the channel. So I encourage you to do that. All right. Well, thank you so much. You guys have a great day.